mantra. Om Vang me manasi pratistheta, mano me vachi pratisthetam, avirma edi, vedasyama anistha, shrutam me ma prahasihi, anena dhitena hora. Tran samdadhami ritam vadishyami satyam vadishyami tanmamavatu tadvaktaramavatu avatu mam avatu vaktaram avatu vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we stopped at number 4. This is the second hymn of the third mandala. Amandrasya sanishyanto vareniyam vrinimahe aharayam vajam rigmiyam ratim bhargunam ushijam kavikratum agnim rajantam diviyena shochisha. Amandrasya sanishyanto vareniyam vrinimahe ahrayam vajam rigmiyam. What a diction, yes? Ratim bhargunam ushijam kavikratum agnim rajantam diviyena shochisha. To conquer the supreme bliss of the rapturous Godhead, the undeviating plenitude full of the word of illumination, we accept the gift of the flame seers, or the Bhrigus, the fire that aspires, the seer wheel shining with heavenly light. My interpretation is just following literally. Amandrasya sanishyanto vareniyam, wanting to win sanishyantah, the most desirable gift, vareniyam, of the blissful mandrasya. Varenimahe, we choose. Ahrayam vajam ragmiyam, the self-conscious, we choose the plenitude, vajam. I'm following Sri Aurobindo's, yes? Vaja is always plenitude. We follow the plenitude, the self-conscious and flaming hymn, rigmiyam, ahrayam, yes? Undeviating ahrayam. Somewhere I missed the word. I put here the vocabulary for these difficult words. Ahrayam Hari, with long E, not bashful, bold, conscious of one's power. So I follow this self-conscious, conscious of oneself. Ahrayam. Rigmiyam, of the word of illumination. Rigveda, yes? The one which has Rigvedic hymn, of the flaming hymn. By flaming, because rich is from here, Arka, the sun, the flame. Archati means to flame in the word, to aspire, to bring, or how to say, to frame the aspiration by the word. These are the words which are using the aspiration to frame the aspiration in a particular fashion to make it the means of spiritual realization. So this all comes into this rik word, arka, rich. And it's a very interesting word because of many things. We spoke about this in our class, Sanskrit class, like we have rickshaw, for example, the bear. Rickshaw is also bear, female. And why rickshaw? Riksa, riksaha, the one who has rik. And that is the bear. So Great Bear constellation, for example, which points to the Dhruvam, to the polar star, is 7 rishis, 7 Purva Rishaya, yes? These 7 stars are 7 rishis which are pointing to the beyond, to the polar star, to the center of our galaxy. So it's all connected with this Rik, flaming word, or the word which is framing the aspiration and making it usable for our purpose. So this Rigmiyam, the one which has Rik, which has that framing power of aspiration, or the hymn, flaming hymn. That is the gift of Bhrigus, Bhrigunam Ratim. Word Rati, from Ra, to bestow, to shine also. All the roots which start with Ra will be something to do with shining or giving, or there are other meanings also in the dictionary because the language is very old. So we have like even barking or Rati, Ratri, the night. Why Ratri is the night? The root is Ra. Because she is luminous. The night is luminous, full of stars. Interesting. Yeah? It's not darkness, total darkness. There is other word Nakta, which is also night. Yeah? Nakta and Ratri. So Ratim, the bestowing gift, or the shining gift of Bhrigus, Bhrigunam, Ushijam, Kavikratum, the aspiring flame. That's how Sri Aurobindo translates, I follow him. The fire that aspires, Ushija. It's from Ushvash, to want, to aspire to. Ushijam Kavikratum. The creative will of the seer, Kavikratu. You can see that the stress is on the first word. That means it's Bahovrihi, the one who has the creative power of the seer. Agnim, the Agni Rajantam, shining and ruling flame. Divyena Shochisha, with purity divine, or with the divine flame. Now, interesting is that Shuch, from here many product words. We have Shukla, Shukra, Shochish, Shochisha here, Shochate in the classical Sanskrit, in the epic Sanskrit, means burning and also suffering from here, because burning by flame. But from here also Shukra, and Shukla is pure, white. Shukla Yajurveda, white Yajurveda. All from this Shuch root. So, wanting to win the most desirable gift of the blissful, we chose or choose the plenitude, the self-conscious and flaming hymn. That is the gift of Bhrigus, the aspiring flame, and the creative will of the seer, the shining flame with purity divine. So these Bhrigus are considered to be, we spoke about this many times, the ancient rishis. They were performing Soma yagas, first Soma sacrifices. We have Purva Rishaya, or ancient rishis, and Nutana, modern rishis in the Rig Veda. So these ancient rishis are usually Bhrigus, and the modern rishis closer to our time, Angiras. Angiras brought to life new gods, such as Brihaspati. Indra became born, came to be active. He was born. And they started to worship Indra, Brihaspati, and ancient gods also. Agni is the ancient god, worshipped by both, by Bhrigus and Angiras rishis. But these Angiras rishis with their new gods became like a new trend. This is the flame of Brihaspati from the heart, with 7 tongues, with 7 rays, this awakening from within, the soul. Whereas Bhrigus are more the powers of the nature. So to say, they are dealing with the vaster nature, with our universal nature, rather than with the soul. They are not they are more spiritual powers, let us say like this, than the soul powers. So those soul powers came later in the evolution of consciousness. So that's why Angiras with their new gods are coming later. And psychic being is discovered later because of that, because it's an evolutionary event. The psychic being had to be formed over a long time. All right. So these Bhrigus are important because they have the gift of Bhrigus, the aspiring flame, and the creative will of the seer, the shining flame with purity divine. That first ancient flame and the gift of Bhrigus. They were first who kindled this Agni. They will be mentioned in the next verse also. Agnim sumnaya dadhire puro jana vajashravasam iha vrikta varhishach yatasruchach surucham vishva deviyam rudram yajnanam sadhat ishtim apasam. Having gathered the sacred grass, Vrikta Barhishach, this is the word, stretching out the ladle of offering, Yatasruchach, men have set here in their front the fire for the happiness, Sumnaya Puro Dadhire Janaha. In his plenitude of aspiration, Vajashravasam, the violent, Rudram, that's how Sri Aurobindo translates, puts capital V, the universal in Godhead, Vishvadeviyam, the bright and beautiful Surucham, one who accomplishes the seekings, Sadhat Ishtim, of sacrifice, Yajnanam, of the doers of the works, Apasam. I just translated, kind of identified the words for you that if you're interested to know how Sri Aurobindo translates them. To realize the perfect mentality, Sumnaya. Now, Sumna and Sumati, we spoke about this not once in our studies. It's that perfect mentality, which is the result of the union of Pramati and Anumati. The whole article was written long ago by Nishtha on these 3, Pramati, Anumati, and Sumati in the Rig Veda. So Sumati is something which combines our aspiration, so to say, the divine rising from below and the divine answering from above. So once it is combined, it leads us to a new quality, Sumati, perfect mentality, or sumna. And this perfect mentality is actually I think, the supramental consciousness. It is it is only possible, this combination of the divine from below and above, when supramental is manifested. It's quite obvious from what we know from integral yoga and the Rig Veda. So I put here equals supramental consciousness, perfect mentality. To realize the supramental consciousness, to realize the divine in nature, people who are born Janaha, Janaha is from root Jan, to be born in the physical body, to have physical birth, who are born in the physical body with vacated, or let us say emptied and prepared inner spaces. Vrikta barhishach, interesting word. Barhis is the grass, vrikta is torn out, plucked out grass. Why? Because when the seat around the fire is prepared for the gods to take place in the ritual, this barhis is the Vedic word for, in classical we have different word for this grass. What was the, already forgot, in the Gita it is used. Sacred grass, which is used for rituals. So that grass, yeah, kusha.
It's called kusha grass.
Yes, absolutely, kusha grass. So this kusha grass, or this barhis, interesting word barhis. It's the grass, but it is from root brich, to vast, to extend. From here, Brahman, the one who grows in the spirit, growing power. So this barhis is actually the opening, or kind of vacating, emptying the space, preparing the inner space. So here I am translating with vacated or opened, prepared inner spaces, set him in front. Prepared for whom? For him, for the gods to take place around the fire. Set him in front of their journey. Dadhire Purach. From here is Purohita, set in front as the leader of the journey. Him who brings the plenitude of inspirational knowledge here. Plenitude of inspirational knowledge, Vaja Shravasam. It is his epithet here, whose Shravas brings Vaja, who has the inspirational knowledge to manifest the plenitude, or who has the plenitude of inspirational knowledge. Here it is not clear because we do not know, because here is the vocative case. Vocative? No, it's not vocative. Yes, it is bahuvrihi. It is accusative case, and it is bahuvrihi. So that means the one who has the Vaja of Shravas. Sri Aurobindo translates it as Bahuvrihi. Bahuvrihi is a name for the compound. I may be confusing you, some of you. Since Angelo is here, so I will be referring to him always. It's a compound, which means Bahuvrihi. Much rice. Much rice is the nickname for the rich person, the person who has a lot of rice, and simply saying much rice. So this is the compound, which is like an adjective. Yata sruchach, where the sruch, the ladle, is extended. Yata. Yata sruchach is we, who are vrikta barhisha, who prepared the inner being for the, vacated it for the gods, who extended the ladle with our offering, with our oblation, which is soma or garutam or clarified butter. And it is him we establish in front. Yeah, it's all Bahuvrihi. Notice Yatas Ruchach Bahuvrihi, Vriktabarhishach Bahuvrihi, Vaja Shravasam. All the Bahuvrihi compounds, quite interesting. So, to realize the perfect mentality, the supramental consciousness, people who are born in the physical body with prepared inner spaces, set him in front. Him who brings the plenitude of inspirational knowledge here. With their offering, they approach the luminous and universal Godhead, the Rudra, who always brings the doers of the works to the desired completion of their sacrifices. Interesting combination, sadhat ishtim. You will not find such compounds in classical Sanskrit. Sadhat is the participle present tense. Ishti is a participle past tense, passive voice. Two participles build one compound. Actually, Rigveda doesn't like compounds. And only with two words you may have, like Vriktabarihs, Vajashravas, Sadhat Ishtim. This is a very rare compound that you have the participle present tense in front. So literally Sadhat, that which realizes or brings to the success, or causes success, makes you succeed. Ishti is desired or sacrificed, which the one which leads you to the desired result of the sacrifice. It is him, Agnim. Yeah? And whom he... Yeah?
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Very short one.
No problem.
When he's talking about the seekings of the sacrifice of the doers of works, is it also the reference to the karma yoga? The highest form of karma yoga, where the soul does the
Very
sacrifice?
nice, very beautiful. And that is karma yoga of the Gita, not karma yoga of anybody else. Yes.
Yeah.
And in the Gita we read about this, that karma yoga is the ancient concept of Vedic. Yes, from the beginning of time, he revealed the secret of karma yoga to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku gave it to Manu. Yeah, or no, Manu. First was Vivasvat. Vivasvat revealed it to Manu. Manu to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku gave it in the lineage of the kings, and it got Nashtam. This yoga became Nashta, lost in time, and now I reveal the secret of karma yoga to you, Arjuna, because you are my bhakta. This is an interesting thing, because karma yoga belongs to the Rig Veda. Absolutely. Karma yoga is the yoga of the sacrifice. Karma is the sacrifice. There is no other karma. No? Karma is the action. Why we act at all, and that is, Gita also explains that sarvam karma akhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. All the karma without remainder ends in the knowledge experience. We act here to increase the consciousness. Yeah? We are here to gain the experience. That's why we act. We build the houses, we decorate them, we go to work. It's all to gain more and more knowledge experience. Though on the surface it may look like we do something else. So you're absolutely right. This is the doers of work, apasam. Apas, interesting word, with different accents, has two different meanings. One is waters, the universal waters, another is action. And Sri Aurobindo, he takes this word and he says that we have the apatya, another word from this uproot. Apatya is the offspring. And offspring can be of two kinds, of the, like, connected with waters also, because it's a seed, retas, flood, current, and also apas from the offspring, in a sense, like the result. And from here, apatya, and he even compares it with Tamil appa, which is lost in Sanskrit. Amma is available. It's from Amba. Some of you may have read his The Origins of Aryan Speech. He goes there through Tamil and Sanskrit, comparing both. And he says Amba became Amma in Sanskrit, but Appa was lost, but has roots in this Appas, Apatya. So that's why I'm mentioning it. All right. So Rudra is mentioned here. Interesting, because Rudra is the father of Agni. Yes? It is his source, his inner source. Rudra, Shiva, who is holding on his shoulders the whole creation, and Agni is flaming towards to realize the divine here in manifestation. So Rudra, who always brings the doers of works to the desired completion of their sacrifice. I'm just dwelling on these words for some reason also, that you should see how difficult the text is, how difficult it is to translate it without knowing the grammar. It's not an easy text. And there are many variations. Okay, we will take number 6. Pavakashoche. This is the vocative case. You see the stress is on the first syllable. Pavakashoche tavahi kshayam pari. Hota. Again, vocative case. Yajneshu vriktabarhisho narach. Agni duva ichamanasa apiyam. Upasate dravinam dhehi tebhyah. O fire, O purifying light, Pava. Pavaka, purifying, Shochich, light. O purifying light. Tavahi Kshayam Pari, O priest of the Kolhota. Men in their sacrifices, Narach Yajneshu, having gathered the sacred grass, Vriktabarhishach, desiring the work, Ichamanasa Apiyam, sit around thy house. Tava Kshayam Pari. So Kshayam is the house or the dwelling place. Pari around Tava, Tava Kshayam. Around your house. Upasate. Can be sitting near. Sit near your house, your dwelling place, like the gods around the flame.
So the dwelling place can be the body?
Right, absolutely. The body or the center of the sacrifice, which can be inside, and it is what we understand by the sacrifice. It's the transformation of our consciousness and being. So, Narach, interesting word in the Veda, has not only the meaning of man, but also God, and also the heroic power of the soul. In other places, Sri Aurobindo translates Nara as God, or as the heroic power of the soul, or those powers which dared to enter into this process of manifestation or transformation, sacrifice. So the gods which did dare to do this, who were brought down by Agni, called, summoned upon, they are called Naras. Interesting. Even Varuna and Mitra are naras. Yeah? When they are in this particular quality of the heroic action against the darkness. So we are all naras here, naras and naris, yes, because we are the heroic souls who dared to plunge into the darkness of inconscience and to start the journey upward. These are naras. And the gods who are involved, they are also naras. But those who are not involved, they are not naras. So it's like an adjective which describes the quality of relation of the spirit and inconscient. So Agni, Duva Ichamana Sa Apiyam. Apiyam, again from this apas, the work, the action. Yeah? So what Sri Aurobindo says, desiring the work. Ichamana Sa Apiyam. Sit around thy house, Tavakshayam Pari Upasate, which we must obtain as ours. Found for them the treasure. Dehi tebihach dravinam. Dravinam treasure, they established tebihach for them. Which we must obtain as ours is additional kind of thought, because it is like this. Yeah? This house of Agni has to become our house. That's why we are Vrikta Barishach. We are the heroic powers which actually vacate, prepare the inner space for the gods and the flame to take charge of our inner being. So we approach his dwelling place, his flame there, and want him to spread, to take over our inner being. So that's why he says, sit around thy house, which we must obtain as ours. There has to be this transformation of our inner being.
Yes, could it mean that this house is otherwise given over to the lower powers, the darker powers of the inconscient, and we have to reclaim it for the soul?
Rather, we are in that range of those powers. And flame is in his own home, but we want him, we want to be him inside, yeah? We want to remove this darkness, which is also Vrikta Barishach, preparing our inner being for this sacred action of flame entering into our inner spaces. If we do not prepare, Sri Aurobindo says in the, remember the hour of God, if you don't trim and is not keeping your inner spaces of your temple clean, then of course sacrifice will take longer, or maybe never will be fulfilled, because if you are constantly inviting darker forces, then it will be never realized so the realization will slow down, let us say that way. So duvas, interesting word. Here I'm also writing this gift, oblation, worship, honor, reverence, gift, stirring, restless. Also duvas is used as the verb sometimes. Means acting. Stirring, acting, constantly transforming. There is a root du which means to suffer, to burn. Yeah, du to shake and du to suffer and to burn. I think it is from this root. So we want your heated energy, so to say, action of heated up energy. Let us say this way, if we follow the etymology of the root, or Agni. And establish for those naras, for those heroic souls of man, Dravinam. Dravinam is an interesting word. I say luminous treasure, but it is the treasure which is constantly mentioned in the Veda as the final outcome of the sacrifice. Something like the offering which we offered was darkened in the hands of the dark forces. We offer it to Agni, and he is charging it with the spirit, and it changes its quality. So to say, it is charged with the spirit offering already, which becomes our own being. So to say, our mind is changing, our vital, our feelings, our things around us are changing, yes, surrounding. So everything, it's a property, dravinam, from root dru, to flow, to run, which is not static, which is constantly changing. So to say, goods and things, like clothes, like things around us, our body, it's all dravinam, something which is dynamically, how to say, living. It's not a static property. It's not the house. Yeah? It's not something you cannot take with you. Dravinam is what is going with you always. But this word is used all over throughout the Rig Veda. Dravinam bhikshamanah. They come begging for dravina. So dravina would be a result, the most desirable, blissful result, luminous treasures. And Sri Aurobindo puts here the treasure with capital T, which means exactly that final realization. So all these words are charged with a spiritual significance. We know that Sanskrit is the richest language for the spiritual fulfillment and practice. Somebody of the Western scholars compared the numbers of spiritual significances in the dictionary of Sanskrit with spiritual significances in other dictionaries of Greek, Latin, other languages. And he said that it is like enormous difference, yes, so to say. Many times. So in Sanskrit, every word can have a spiritual significance. Dravinam can be goods, and Dravinam can be this, transformed by spirit nature.
Vladimir. And so in this case, Nara is plural from Nri.
Right.
So then Rikta Barhisha Nara Upasate, so it's all plural.
Yes, it's all plural, absolutely. Vrikta Barhis, Vrikta Barhishach plural, Nri, Narach plural. Yes. It's Vedic Nri word. Yeah? We meet it only in the compositors like Nripati or Nripa. Yeah? In the classical, we don't have Nri as the word. Yes, it's very good that you clarified, because our people, Kinshuk knows Narach, Narau, Nara, and he looks at it as a singular and it is plural. All right, we're going for next. Arodasi aprinat asuvar mahat jatam yat enam apaso adharayan so advaraya pari niyate kavich atyona vajasataye chanohitoch. He filled the two firmaments, arodasi aprinat, from root pri, to fill. He filled the vast sun world, asvar mahat. Svar is the world of the rays of the sun over mind, Sri Aurobindo. Jatam yat enam, when he was born and held by the doers of works. apaso adharayan. Literally, he is active case. The doers of work held him when he was born. Yat is when. In Vedic language also can be when, where, what, any relative meaning. Can be yada jatam. But yad jatam is the same meaning. So advaraya pariniyate kavich. He is led, pariniyate, around. Interesting word, because pariniyate means to marry. Later, in the later languages, parinayana and so on. So he is led as for marriage around. He is led around for the pilgrim sacrifice, adhvaraya, dative case. The seer found it in the bliss. The seer found it in the bliss. Chanohitach, kavich chanohitach, as the horse for the conquest of the plenitude. Ationa. Atyach is the courser, the racing horse, which is rushing towards the prize. Vajasataye, to achieve, to win, to conquer the prize. He filled the two luminous firmaments. Interestingly, that these two firmaments, Rodasi, are luminous because it's from root rud, to shine with light. They emit light. Rudra is also a shining one. Sri Aurobindo says that there are two different translations of Rudra. One is shining from Rud, radiation maybe, ruddy, the same etymology, amazingly, is maintained over thousands of years, and in English the same etymology. And or Rudra from Rud, to cry. But cry is the emitting sound and emitting light are constantly kind of assigned to the same words in the Rig Veda. This we have to be used to. So to say, speaking and flaming, like Archati, Rig Veda, flaming word, flaming sound, so to say, emitting sound with light. So Rudra is no exception in this case. It's kind of sounding and shining, as it were, but rather emitting light. So here, why I'm speaking about Rudra so much, because of this Rodasi, because of Rodasi. Sorry, lost my track. Rodasi are two luminous or sounding or vibrating in sound and light firmaments, if you will. So they are living, they are emitting, radiating sound. And some of you may have heard how planets are sounding. It's amazing, in NASA. NASA recorded the sounding of the planets. This is emitting that sound, Rodasi. So he's the horse for the conquest of the plenitude. He filled the two luminous firmaments, heaven and earth. These are heaven and earth. Also interesting that they are luminous because in the supramental world they are one, yes, equal and one, as Sri Aurobindo says. So the material and spiritual are not different there. They become two foundations when the manifestation in time takes place. They crack. So these two, heaven and earth, and the vast world of Svar, which is beyond them, when the doers of the sacrifice, doers of works, held him born. So these are most probably those first rishis who kindled the flame or found the flame as the drive of evolution in nature. Well, usually it is referred to Bhrigus. He is the seer, Kavich, led around the sacrificial journey, Advaraya, or for the sacrificial journey, led around, which is difficult to combine. For the sacrificial journey, led around, maybe like circling, yeah.
Like a parikrama?
Yeah, parikrama, yeah. Some kind of fulfilling the circle again and again, and by that we are moving forward. Maybe that is what is meant. Because there is no direction. There is kind of circling for the journey moving forward. He's like a courser racing towards the prize of plenitude established in bliss. These are all epithets of Agni. I'm somewhere in my studies of the book 5, I made the long list of epithets, yeah? And it was like 7 or 8 pages of only epithets or the adjectives to Agni from 28 hymns. Yeah? It was a number incredible. And notice they are always using these adjectives describing Agni. Chanohitach, yeah? Kavich, Atyachna. All this is descriptive of Agni. All right, we can maybe stop here. And if you have some thoughts, questions, please go ahead. You can share your ideas, impressions.
The Apasach, those are the workers who
Yep.
established fire.
Yes. Apas is the singular, apasach is plural.
The symbol of the horse is very interesting
Right.
in the Vedas.
Yeah. And there are many different horses, as you know, yes? This is Atya. There is Ashva. There is also, there are a few more. Somehow it doesn't come to my brain.
In the Brihadaranyaka, there is the horse.
Who?
In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad.
Yes, there is Ashva there, yes. And there are many different horses described there, yes. A horse for the Gandharvas, a horse for the gods, a horse for the man. Everyone has his own horse, so to say. I forgot other, somehow it doesn't come to me. It will come, I will tell you, other names for the horse. And all of them are significant because they mean something. You know, all these words are not just words. Behind there is a root. For example, if I take Ashvaha, then it is from Asho, as Yaska says. Asho, to be swift. So Ashvah is running, swift. Sri Aurobindo translates also horses as swiftnesses. Interesting. It just leaves swiftnesses in plural. Swiftnesses of the spirit. They carry the gods in their chariots. White chariots, we spoke about this. Yeah? It's like a separate, secure way of being, crossing the fields which are not ready to receive this light. So it will be some kind of entity which will be traveling through space to its destination where it is meant to go, over the space which is cannot receive it. That's why we have this ratha and horses, those powers, swiftnesses which carry this entity, the divine entity, to its destination, to the human consciousness. And once they arrive, they change it. And so these are the symbols why they are using horses and and chariots.
Vladimir, Arvata is the other horse.
Yes, Arvat.
Arvata. Varvat.
And there is even more something which just don't come to my mind.
Vajin.
Who? Say it again.
Vajin.
Vajin,
Vajin.
that's what I wanted to remember.
Yes,
And
yes.
interesting, Vajin is the full of plenitude, which explains to us why this Vaja is plenitude. Because plenitude is the power which is charged with the spirit. Power charged with the spirit is plenitude. The power and consciousness got separated. The power is always somewhat against the light of consciousness in this manifestation. The more powerful thing, the heavy, the less conscious it is, so to say. The more conscious you are, the more soft you are in your this constitution. But when this power is totally charged with consciousness, that would be Vajin, that will generate this movement of force led by light. I thought about this plenitude, why he uses this word, such a perfect word, which means so many, plenty, which means abundance, which means fulfillment. All is in this simple word plenitude. Power and knowledge and bliss and joy, everything is in this fulfillment word. Yeah, some other thoughts? Or you want to read through that to get the sense of it? So usually these words, these hymns are for the sake of generating in you that state of consciousness. Once it is generated, it's not this story to be told. It's not something you have to know. It's rather what you have to be. And if you follow that command of the Rishi invoking Agni, and he describes what is happening when he invokes, then it should kind of be contagious to us when we read.
Vladimir, I was interested in the word you said later became associated with marriage, the led around part, because marriage is a symbol in the Bible that's used all the time, the bride and the bridegroom between God and the people. So I thought maybe that there was a little link there with the fire being.
Very nice idea, actually. Excellent. The same marriage Sri Aurobindo is using in Savitri, yes? Spirit and matter. And spirit is and matter is the spirit's willing bride. This is so beautiful. The matter is the spirit's willing bride. She gives herself to him totally in marriage. Yeah, and even in English it is used in this sense, marriage of, the thought and the word or something. Yeah, it's a good idea. Actually, it can explain this, why pari niyate. He is led around, as in the marriage, it's a parikrama. And when the marriage is taking place, there are 7 steps with mantras. Every step you most probably did. Yes, Jayashri is doing, supporting the idea in Gita Shri. Did you go around this? Yeah, you did. Interesting. And you heard the hymn of Savitri Rishika? Yeah. Savitri Rishika in the 10th mandala has the hymn of marriage, the most popular hymn of the Rig Veda in whole India, because every marriage has to use this hymn, and you can imagine how many marriages were there. So every Brahmin knows this hymn by heart, because that is his business. I'm just jokingly speaking about them, but Rishika Savitri, our Savitri, I believe that was the Savitri of Mahabharata, of Sri Aurobindo, Savitri Rishika. She is there speaking about marriage of Surya, of the daughter of the sun, to Soma. Amazing. We can all look into this hymn also. I did this before we started with the group. It's an amazing hymn. You will find totally different ideas from what we think about marriage. It's not marriage at all.
Yeah, it's interesting to do it if everybody agrees.
Yeah, we can do. We will finish this hymn. It's only few left. And then we can take marriage, since marriage came up. Pariniyate Agni, so we will look into why. Why is that 7 steps? And what happened when you did 7 steps? Can you tell us? Or you don't remember now?
It is 7 circles. You take
I was
round the fire.
Say it again.
You take 7 circles round the fire.
7 circles. Usually it's 7 steps in a description, but you did 7 circles. Wow.
Yeah, they've turned it to 7 circles.
Yeah.
But at that point in time, the consciousness is so different because there's so much happening.
Oh,
You
yeah.
are really not paying attention to anything. And
Yeah.
it's all
No,
in Sanskrit, which you don't understand. So,
No, after every circle, they make you stop,
yes.
and then they say about the respective mantra.
And
And
then
if
you
the priest is good, he explains it to you, and then you take the next step,
Yes.
next circle.
Interesting.
You have to offer something to the fire too.
That too, yes.
And the
Uh-huh.
first 3 circles, I think the woman leads, and the next, I think the man leads.
I think the woman leads.
The woman leads.
The
Yes, the
yes.
woman leads.
The woman leads.
I think maybe then there's 1 circle where the man has to lead. Something like that it was. I don't know.
Interesting. Woman leads.
Yeah, woman leads, and you have to make promises like, I will look after all your food and clothing throughout your life and stuff like that, and I will whatever.
Like the 7 vows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Christians also have something similar, yes. Till death.
Right.
Till death do us part.
Mm.
Vladimir, I had a different question on something entirely, not question really, a thought. So this joining between the light and the sound, okay, let me just collect my thoughts. So apparently around 15,000 years ago, there was a civilization in Central Europe, France and Germany, where it was discovered that those people had an excellent visual sense. They had a running civilization, everything fine, but they had a visual sense, but they had no language and no sound. And then around 8,000 BC or something, there came this concept of the bards and the singing and the vocalizations. So it has crossed my mind many times that the Rig Veda is talking about a journey from a visual sense to a speech sense or a sound sense. I mean, I'm very confused, but it seems like a transition between these 2 ways of seeing the world. I forget the name of that. It starts with something like A. It was all those cave paintings and all. Belong to
If you look into the gap series, the ever-present origin, we will find that this, what you're referring as magic structure of consciousness, where in these pictures in the caves, there were pictures of human beings where there is no mouth. So you have eyes, yes, you have nose, but no mouth. Interesting. Yeah? Sculptures with no mouth at all. And then when the transition takes place to the mythical structure, then there is a mouth. Yeah? That means myth, speaking in a magic structure. Interestingly, even today in Africa, we had in Auroville, we had this person from Senegal who was in the United Nations, and he was on our advisory board. Doudou Dieng, black, like beautiful black. So you can't find such black anywhere. And he said that in his village, when people want to decide something, and this is magic structure, they sit around the tree, the whole village, and they sit. They have a problem to solve. And after sitting there 2 hours or something plus, they get up and go. They don't discuss anything. They don't speak a word. But they have to sit together to solve the problem. So after most probably all the energies are harmonized, he was telling us in our gathering in Auroville, I can't forget that. I immediately recognized the magic structure of consciousness where the word plays secondary role, yeah, like indicator only, but not like discussing, solving problem conceptually, no conceptual thinking. So this is available, yes. But I think it's more related to the verbs. If you take roots, many of them have 2 meanings, the most ancient roots. And not only 2, Sri Aurobindo says each root, and this is amazing in the Origin of Aryan Speech, he says each root may have and should have and can have the projection into every sense, into every indriya. Seeing, speaking, hearing, you can have all of them in that sense. They can touch, can cover also, because the wave, the emanation of wave, either sound or light, is also a touch. Yeah? So you will have possibilities of application of the root, which will generate significance, contextual significance, which may be seeing or kind of flaming or sounding or moving or something. So root is more fundamental, and when it is used by different faculties of consciousness, it generates new meaning. I think it is more in that direction. It's a very interesting topic, why roots have multi meanings. Like if you take your root yoga, word yoga, I use this example all the time. There are more than 150 significances in the Monier-Williams dictionary. 150, and it's an open list. Can be many more. Because contextual meanings is application. And the root has its own. Yeah? So if you take this U means EU, 2 simple roots. E is moving, concentrating, focusing, and U is duality. So 2 different points of view held in one. 2 held in one. Also, I'm showing you the picture. And if you apply this U and huge with extension huge, and Yud with extension Yud is to fight, huge is to yoke. Notice, unite, the same etymology, interesting. Union, yeah. So this huge U has 2 meanings. One meaning is to unite, another is to divide. So what will you say about this? Where is our mind here? Yeah. So why unite and divide? Because this U like this, like a horseshoe, yeah, can be applied like 2 are united in 1, if I move this way, or 1 is disunited in 2. And there is another prefix V, which is UI, the same V, which has this duality, Vijnana. Vijnana in all the details. That means we take all the oppositions and they are all one in oneness, viewed. Yeah? Or we split, vigata, vigachati, goes out, goes separate. So either or. And this feeling of the basic root is fundamental for Sanskrit. It's a difficulty and the beauty of Sanskrit. It looks
Also,
confusing. No problem. It looks confusing at the beginning, but then when you start entering into it, you see the order, because the same U and the same E will be used in all the roots in the same flavor. So it unites, it builds the system of roots. They are all connected. So when you say simple like V or U, you generate all other roots immediately vibratingly support the idea. They confirm the idea through the language. Yeah? Not only this one root confirms the idea, but all other roots using U and E will confirm the same idea. Yeah. Yes, Kinshuk.
no, so I was thinking that a large number of our verbs have a somatic root, which means linked to the body somehow. That is what I found out in English verbs. I
For
don't know
example,
about Sanskrit. All of them, running, going, whatever it is, you're doing something with your body. It's somatic. And so the thing that it comes from seems to be our actions or our center of action or something.
because of the verbs. Verbs are actions. All the roots are actions. Yeah? They are particular modality of activity of consciousness, which is generating the families of words. Like this E is to go in so many roots with E, which will have this E, and like you take the whole line of these roots. E is to move to, Chi is to focus, and from here Chit consciousness with extension, Chinoti to gather, Chinute to be gathered or to be focused. Yeah. G is to conquer, to break through. Yes. She is to sharpen. You will have everywhere this E will be making this narrowing down, the focusing down the consciousness, pointing to some pointing place, yeah, like an arrow flying to the target. U, everywhere you will have the extension, yeah. You will have duality everywhere. Marutao, dual. Why dual? Why Agnao in the Agni? Ao, suddenly from E, nobody knows. Because U is there. That U is that duality which is holding. It's like, all the roots, Ku, Kupa, Supa, and Yupa, what Patanjali compares three roots. Kusu and U, everywhere U, Ku, Kupa, Q, what the cup, Kup. The cave, Kave, Ku, also cave, hollow. Why hollow? Because there is a space to be created with U. Yeah? This duality means space. So it's amazing. If you start analyzing all these words and roots in English, in any Indo-European languages, you will find amazing correspondence, which we already lost our kind of, we don't have anymore that sharp view or feeling. But poets have, they select the word particular, they feel this word is not the same. We will read this in future poetry, how Sri-Aurobindo discusses it. It's amazing. What is the difference between the synonyms? Yeah, if we take like big ocean and huge ocean, or immense ocean, or large ocean, or great ocean. Why all these oceans, yeah, great, immense, huge, large, big, for the mind are very similar. There's one category, yeah, which tells us something is big. Yeah? But for the poet, these are all different words, big and huge. Such a huge difference. And poet feels this, and we also feel. We know that big is heavy, bulky, and huge is extended, spacey. How do we know? Because of the sound. Ooh is there, the extension, and big is concentrated, nowhere to go. This is how we know it.
Just like fire, the force, fire, force, fierce, fire.
Yeah. And you will see all this piercing, yeah? Needle. You will have everywhere this kind of which will be activated, and everywhere activated differently. So, and even more so, other also words like if you start looking into the consonants, the same story. I was giving an example, some simple example, or re sound. Take r. Sri Aurobindo says it's drilling, it's working within the limit on one spot. And you will see everywhere this breaking through, yeah, crushing, and so on. And difference between r and l, crushing and clashing. Yeah? L is more sliding, gliding, leaking. Yeah, it's not making cut, so to say. It's not crushing, it's clashing. It's something, if you start comparing, you will see that all the meanings, all those those root meanings, original sounds, are there. Or root stha, stha is the best comparison. Yeah? And you come to the stop. Yeah, it's stop, it's stable, it's station, it's everywhere. Stool, stubborn, stupid, stumble. You will have meaning, and it is a general meaning, but then applied, it generates the contextual significance. So what we have to learn to think differently. We have to feel the words, to know what they really mean in the system of etymons. And then the Vedic hymns will open up to us with their meanings. But if you don't have that, it is very much misleading. You know, it can be anything. Any translation will go, and we will not see the meaning, not feel the meaning.
Vladimir, a related thought. Sorry, I'm taking up so much time of everybody. But by that relation, space or universe will mean a kind of separating out of two poles always. Is it?
Yeah.
And when we say that spreading the grass, it means we are able to deal with opposites in our own mind. Two utterly different opposites can stay in our own mind, and this is how we space out our mind.
Absolutely. And this is the higher mind capacity, where you are not bewildered by the form of the word or meaning or concept. You find that they are all necessary for the fulfillment of complexity, and you develop that capacity not to be bewildered by the contradiction. Contradiction is welcome for the higher mind, yeah? Because it gives more varieties for the meaning. It actually allows the meaning to grow differently. It's like a thesis and an antithesis, yes? And you can come to the synthesis. Synthesis is greater. It's another level of understanding. This is how at the beginning works. At the end, you see all the etymons, how they are penetrating. The sound of quality relates to all of them in the same manner, generating so many significances, because significances come with application only. Yeah. General significance stays there, but when you apply to a particular context, and new meaning will pop up. So you can have endless varieties of meanings from these systems of roots. All right. Okay, so we can stop here and I will close with the mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.